Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. As you can tell from the title of this video, we are gonna be doing a full face first impression, this time testing out Primark products. Now again, just like the other videos I've been doing recently, I've had these products sitting in my drawer for quite a while, so I can't promise you that these products are still available, unfortunately, but most of them are definitely not limited edition, and I've been seeing them in Primark for a long time, so as far as I know they should be still available. I have a full face of products, and as you know, Primark is quite affordable, so I really hope we're gonna find some great products here today that we can then all enjoy. First of all, before we get started, I'm gonna put my headband on to get my hair out of the way, and then we can get started. The first product I'm gonna use is a primer, and this is their Prep and Perfect Hydrating Primer. They have this in a couple of different versions, but I just wanted to go with the hydrating one because I personally love hydrating primers. Even though I have a combination oily skin, I am the most concerned about fine lines, and I really find that hydrating primers help that. I also wanted a primer that doesn't have any silicone in it, and this just seemed like the perfect option. This primer has 27 ml of product in it, and as you can tell, it costs £3. It's a cruelty-free product, and it contains vitamin B3 and vitamin E, which are both really good for your skin. So I'm just gonna take some on my hand. It's a really nice, thick, creamy formula. It also smells really fresh, so far I really like this primer, but obviously we want to see how it feels later on and how the makeup looks on top of it. But honestly, it feels really refreshing and it smells amazing, so I kind of understand why this was the only one left in the store when I purchased it. I just zoomed you guys in as close as possible because we are going to be moving on to the foundation now. And I have here the My Perfect Color Double Coverage Matte Foundation, which is an oil-free, long-wear matte finish foundation. And as you can tell, probably from the bottle as well, this is a supposed dupe of the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. This cost £5, and I purchased it in the shade Beige, which seems like a quite cool toned shade, so I think it's gonna be a great match for my skin. It also has SPF 15 in it, so when you go outside you have a little bit of protection from the sun. However, I don't believe SPF 15 would be enough on your face, so you still want to use some sort of a sunscreen on top of this. Unfortunately, this doesn't come with a pump, but we're gonna be able to deal with that, no problem. It smells quite nice and the color looks great, but without the pump it's quite hard to control how much product you get, so you need to be very careful. I'm gonna use my beauty blender to blend this out. The shade looks like a really good match for me, but I definitely wouldn't say that it's a full coverage foundation, at least not after one layer. So I'm gonna go back with the second layer now and see if we can build this up, because it didn't really cover anything so far, but it does look really good. Okay, I definitely think that a second layer helped. I can still see my freckles peeking through, so I definitely don't think that this is anything like the Estee Lauder Double Wear. Otherwise, it looks good. Like, it looks really good. Doesn't emphasize my lines, my pores, so I'm really pleasantly surprised. It smells really nice, and the shade is also a really good match for me, so yeah, I really like this foundation so far. Obviously, I don't know if later on it's gonna start separating or getting oily. I wouldn't call it a matte finish either. However, I recently tested out the Too Faced Peach Perfect foundation, which is also called a matte foundation, and that was even more shiny than this is. So I guess once I powder it down, it's gonna turn more matte. But yeah, it's looking really, really good so far. The next one is going to be the My Perfect Color Liquid Concealer, which is obviously a dupe of the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, which I also have. This one I purchased in the shade Ivory, and it's definitely significantly lighter than the foundation. The consistency is also similar to the NARS one, so I don't expect it to have an extremely high coverage. I do expect it to cover up some of my imperfections and just brighten up the center of the face. You can totally go crazy with this concealer because it's gonna be easy to blend out, and because it's not a high coverage, you can't really go over the top with it. Yeah, as you can see, I applied a lot, and once you blend it out, you can't really tell. It is a nice concealer, but I definitely don't think it gives you a lot of coverage. This concealer has vitamin E and aloe vera in it, which is great. I love when makeup products have vitamin in them. So yeah, this is how it looks so far. I actually think that this looks really good, and you definitely couldn't tell that these are drugstore products. This concealer is, by the way, £1, which is crazy. The next product we're gonna use is again from the My Perfect Color range, and it is a loose mineral powder. I purchased this in the shade Nude, and as you can tell, it costs £2. It's quite small compared to my other loose powders. This has 13 grams of product in it. The Too Faced or the Laura Mercier setting powders have 35 grams in them. So yes, it is £2, but you get about a third of the product you would normally get. Okay, so let's set this. Like I said, this is not a translucent setting powder, so it's gonna alter the shade of your foundation slightly. Okay, so this is how we're looking so far. I definitely think that the setting powder turned the foundation a little bit darker and a little bit more warm, but I honestly don't have a problem with that. Apart of that, it looks good so far. I do think that my face looks a bit flat though, and it definitely looks like I'm about to die. So I want to go back with some bronzer and blush now to make me look a little bit more alive. And I'm gonna start with this Island Escape Ombre bronzer that they sell for £3. This possibly could be a limited edition product, I'm not sure. As you can see, it has a nice ombre going from a darker tanned shade to a lighter one, and it definitely has a sheen to it. So this is not a matte bronzer, but with this matte foundation I feel like it's gonna look nice. It also looks quite pigmented. Okay, let's see. Oh yes, it's really pigmented. Damn, shouldn't have picked up so much. I think this is a bit dark for me though. So maybe if you have a darker skin or a more tanned skin, this is gonna look better on you. Unfortunately, here in England we don't have too much sun in the summer, so I normally stay quite pale. I didn't pick up any contour product from Primark, so I'm just gonna use this all over the face. I think it looks quite nice. Maybe I overdone it a tad bit here on my forehead, but apart of that, it definitely made me look more healthy and sun-kissed. So the next thing I have from Primark is this £1.50 blush. I have this in the shade Rosewood, and as you can see, this is a dupe of the MAC blushes. I have my MAC blush here in the shade Peaches. As you can see, it's definitely more of an orangey shade, whilst the Primark blush is more of a mauve shade. But I'm just gonna quickly swatch them on the back of my hand to show you the pigmentation. So that is the MAC Peaches, and this is the Primark Rosewood. As you can see, the pigmentation on the Primark blush is amazing. If you can find a shade you like, I think you're gonna be very happy with this blush. I do want to mention though that the MAC blush I have, Peaches, is a sheer tone one, so the pigmentation of it is not a representation of the quality. It is a sheer blush, which I enjoy because it gives you more control over how much blush you use. Nevertheless, this seems like a great blush so far, so let's just put some on my face. Yeah, again, the pigmentation of it seems great. Oh, I need to be careful with how much I apply because the bronzer was already quite pigmented, and now it almost makes me feel like I'm gonna end up looking like a clown. I think it's looking really nice so far. I'm very impressed. The next product I have is the highlighter, and this one is called Brunch Club. They have it in different shades and they all have a different name. This one is a dupe of the highlighter, as you guys can probably tell. I'm just gonna quickly show you a picture of how the highlighters look like. I mean, yeah, you can definitely see that basically all Primark makeup products are a dupe. Primark in general is a very affordable option for people who just cannot afford to buy those expensive hyped things, and I think that's the same for their makeup as well. They make dupes of really loved and hyped makeup products that teenagers normally cannot afford, and let's be honest, Primark is mainly focused on children and teenager, at least in my opinion. Nevertheless, this is gonna be the highlighter we're using today. I hope it's gonna look nice because I really love my makeup so far. Oh yes, that looks good. And it looks really shiny. Oh my god, you can really just go and go and go and build this up. Wow. I don't have a sticker on it anymore, but I believe that this highlighter was £2.50 or maybe £3. It definitely wasn't anything expensive. Jesus Christ, I don't think I had this much highlighter on in my life. If any of you guys want to be visible from space, then this is the highlighter for you. I just zoomed you guys in again because the next step now is gonna be the eyebrows. And I have here this skinny brow pencil in the shade dark brown. And it's your usual double-ended eyebrow pencil, one end with a really fine tip brow pencil and the other end is a spoolie. So I'm gonna first just brush through my eyebrows a little bit. Start applying this. Okay, I love this eyebrow pencil. The shade is really cool toned, which I love. It's a really fine tip, so it allows you to place the product where you want. It's not too creamy, but not too dry either. The only negative thing I can tell you about this is that it broke already, so if I turn it upside down, the product is gonna fall out. Honestly, this was one of the easiest applications I've ever had. I'm really happy with this. If I would need to choose between this one, which cost me £1, and the NARS one, which cost me about £20, I would definitely go with this one. Even if this was £20 like the NARS one, I would still buy this one over that. Okay, so I just grabbed some other eyebrow pencils. The first one is gonna be the Primark one. The second one is NARS. The third one is Anastasia Beverly Hills. And the last one is Urban Decay. I love this Urban Decay one so much. Okay, and we're gonna do a rub test to see if the Primark one is easier to rub off than the high-end ones. No. Save yourself some money and grab one of these eyebrow pencils from Primark if you can. Just do yourself a favor and don't break it like I did. So the next thing we need is some eyebrow gel, and I have this £1 Define Eyebrow Gel from Primark. As you can see, the packaging is really similar to the packaging of the Essence one, which is also very similar to the packaging of the original Benefit Gimme Brow. Once you open them though, you can see that the Essence one is much smaller. The Primark one is quite short but chunky. So I'm really interested to see how this is going to work. I think because it's short, we might be able to handle it. I normally hate these large heads on eyebrow products. Yeah, this brow gel is a bit messy. I feel like it's ruining my eyebrows a bit, especially towards the tail where you want it to be a bit slimmer. It's also a quite waxy product, which I normally don't like. Okay, I think if you have the perfect eyebrow shape naturally and you just want to add some volume, this brow product could work. But if you're like me and you need help with the shape and the size of your brows, then stay away from this eyebrow gel. Just go with the Essence one because that one is really good. I'm gonna try to fix my brows now, but the problem with the waxy consistency is that you can't really apply anything on top of the wax because it's not letting you. Yeah, at this point it's really hard to fix the shape of the brows. Okay, so that brow gel kinda ruined my good eyebrow day, but I mean, we're just gonna have to roll with it. I only have a couple of products left. One of them is gonna be this £4 Dark Wonder eyeshadow palette. I think this is a really beautiful eyeshadow palette. It reminds me a little bit of the Urban Decay Born to Run eyeshadow palette. Obviously they are not trying to copy that. I don't actually know if they're trying to copy anything with this. I didn't see anything with a similar color story. I'm gonna show you some swatches now quickly on the screen. As you can see, some of them are more pigmented than others. I particularly don't like the black shade and this dark shade with blue glitter in it. They are not really pigmented. Also, this green is really misleading because it looks like a nice green color, but once you swatch it, it's actually a duochrome shade and it's more of like a grayish color with blue hue to it. It's really interesting, but I definitely like these shimmery colors. I don't really know why they put two gold shades in this palette because they look almost identical. I wish one of them was more of a cool toned shade, or preferably an almost white shiny shade, like a champagne color would have been really nice. But I do love these two colors very, very much. So I'm gonna try to do something with those colors. I'm gonna start with this lighter brown shade. I don't have any eyeshadow primer from Primark today, but let's see how these shadows perform without a primer. I don't get too much color payoff from this shade, but it could be just that it's quite similar to my skin tone. So I'm gonna go back now with this darker brown color. This is more of a taupey shade. Oh yes, this one is quite pigmented and quite easy to blend. That's quite nice actually. I think in today's video I'm gonna be doing a half cut crease look with these two colors and maybe try some of these green under my eyes. I'm gonna take a small brush and put this black shade, which is actually, like I said, not that black, in my outer corner. Good thing is that it's quite easy to blend though. But it's definitely not a black shade, it's more like a dark charcoal color. Now I'm gonna take my Kat Von D Whiteout Pomade. I know this is not from Primark, but I don't have anything from Primark to create a cut crease. Okay, and now I'm gonna take some of this lighter pink shade and tap it on top of that. Okay, I'm gonna take a really tiny brush now and emphasize that taupey brown shade again, just around the area that we covered with the Whiteout Pomade. And then I'm gonna take the same brush I used to apply the light pink shade, and I'm gonna dip it into the darker pink shade. And then I'm gonna take a little bit more of the black shade just in the outer corner. We're also gonna use black eyeliner, so that's gonna emphasize that anyway. Okay, so that's that so far. So under my eyes, I wanna use the green color, but before I use the green color, I'm gonna try to put down some of the white shade, because I don't want the green to turn too dark under my eyes, because honestly that color is completely different once you swatch it. Okay, that white shade did like nothing. I'm gonna dip my brush into now this green and just hope the best. I really wish it would stay green, but I know it's not going to. It's gonna be a gray shade with a blue hue to it, which you won't even be able to see under my eyes because it's not a big enough surface. Yeah, as you can see, there's like nothing green about that color. Okay, moving on, the next thing is gonna be the eyeliner. This is just a regular liquid eyeliner. As far as I remember, it cost me £1.50. It has a quite pointed applicator, which I like, but it's not flexible at all. So we're gonna see if that works at all. Color is quite black. And the applicator works surprisingly well. Just be really careful not to stab yourself in the eye with this. Okay, it's definitely not the most precise application I have ever done, but not the worst either. So the only thing I want to say is that the packaging of this one feels extremely cheap, and like I said, you could actually stab yourself in the eye with this. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna use some more of this highlighter and add it on top of this pink because I just want this to pop more. Yeah, I think it already looks much better. And I'm also gonna take a little bit and just add it to my inner corner. Oh my god, this highlighter is so good. Okay, moving on, the next product is this £1 Kohl eyeliner pencil, and as you can see, I purchased a quite nude color. I normally enjoy nude or white eyeliner pencils simply because I like that area to be highlighted. It just makes me look more awake and it makes my eyes look more open and bigger, and I wish I had bigger eyes. So okay, that was surprisingly creamy and easy to apply, so another great product. The next one is gonna be mascara, and I chose the 3D Lash Effect mascara from Primark. They have loads of mascaras. They are more or less dupes of other mascaras, and you can normally tell by the packaging which mascara are they trying to do. Obviously, I said it a million times, when it comes to mascaras, I don't think the price means anything. I have tried in my life a lot of expensive mascaras that were really disappointing, and I also tried very cheap mascaras that were absolutely amazing. For example, the Essence Lush Princess. As you can see, this mascara has a quite small thin brush head, which makes the application really easy, and from what I can tell so far, it is quite nice, especially on my lower lashes. Okay, upper lashes, I'm not really sure, nothing special, not bad but not wowing me, but on the lower lashes it's gorgeous. The mascara wand kind of reminds me of the Benefit Bad Girl Bang. As you can see, they are quite similar, both very thin, same size. Maybe the Bad Girl Bang is a little bit more of a cone shape, but it's not too creamy, not too dry. It doesn't clump my lashes, which I love. So yeah, I think it's a quite alright mascara. And the last thing we're gonna add to this look is obviously the lipstick. Sorry guys, I didn't get any lip liner. I honestly don't know why, but I didn't. Anyhow, the lipstick I have is their matte lipstick. As you can see, the packaging is very similar to the MAC lipsticks packaging. It's the same bullet shape, just a different color. And the shade we're gonna be using in today's video is called Thrillseeker. I'm gonna have a separate video coming after this one, where I'm gonna be swatching all the shades from this collection. So the shade we have is a quite neutral light shade. It's a quite easy to apply, creamy, pigmented, but matte color. It kind of feels powdery on your lips. You can definitely tell you're wearing something, but it's quite comfortable. The application is not the most precise. It almost feels like it has a little bit of wax in it, which I don't really love, but I can deal with it, especially for the price being. These lipsticks are £1.50 each, which is really good price. Most of them are quite neutral, but it has a couple of fun colors in it, like this shade called Havana. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for my next video where I'm going to be swatching all of them for you. So just to recap all of these products once again. I really loved the primer, the foundation, the concealer. I think the blush was beautiful. The eyeliner pencil glided on really easily, and I loved the brow pencil as well. Not to mention the highlighter, which is so blinding. It is my most blinding highlighter, which is crazy because I have a lot of high-end highlighters. The setting powder, the lipsticks, the mascara and the liquid eyeliner were alright, but definitely could be better. The products that I probably didn't like that much were the eyeshadow palette, the bronzer and the eyebrow gel. The eyeshadow palette could be more pigmented and the shiny colors could be more blinding, especially considering it's £4 for the same price from Makeup Revolution or from Essence. You can get really good eyeshadow palettes. The bronzer was probably too dark for me, and I prefer bronzers that you can slowly build up. And the eyebrow gel, the product itself was a little bit more waxy than I like, and the brush was just too thick, and I feel like it just messed up my eyebrows. But apart of that, I feel like overall my makeup turned out quite alright. So I will be definitely going back and picking up some more Primark makeup in the future, and I will be back a full face of more products to show you guys, because I actually had a really good experience today. I will be using this foundation for sure, and I will be using the concealer for sure, and I just love when I can find something so cheap, so good, because I don't feel guilty about recommending it to you guys. When I find something more expensive and it's good, sometimes I feel like it can be a little bit heartbreaking for some people who couldn't afford it, and it makes me feel guilty. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Go on and watch my other full face first expression videos, because I have a couple more and I will have more in the future. Take care of yourself. Until next time, I will see you very soon.